So I'll show you guys a couple of tricks. And how many of you guys want to spend $6,500 to learn how to edit video? All right. How many of you guys want to spend $100,000 learning how to edit video? Yeah. All right. So luckily I paid it all out. All right.
Who paid that?
I don't have Premiere installed on here. No.
I'll edit that out.
You want to let your dad see that part.
I paid for the final year just because I wanted to finally get myself out of the washing dad's truck routine.
Wow, that's a lifelong.
100,000. That's a lot of truck washings.
Yeah, exactly. It's at least 6.
Six a day or 6 a car?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, like 6, so that's like a full detail, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that'd be nice to
Not even,
detail.
wearing a 2-piece bikini or anything.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to go there.
All right.
That's why I took
So-
6 a day.
Who's been using GoPro for a while? Like who's got like the original GoPros? All right, that's me too. Okay, I got one right here. Anybody here have a new GoPro, like the GoPro Hero 3?
Yeah.
All right, good. So what's cool about the GoPro Hero 3s is that you can actually control them through Wi-Fi. You can actually like change the settings from your phone versus having to learn all the menus, which I'm about to teach you. Okay. All right, and who here just uses an underwater scuba camera to record video,
Yeah.
like a Sea Life or something?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, this class will also help you out because it's going to teach you the fundamentals of fixing your video. All right, and it's going to teach you how to make in points, out points, maybe put music to the background, make it so you can send it to your family members through YouTube or email it out, send it to the right conversions to make it so you can watch it on a TV set or a PlayStation or your cell phone. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And this will only take about maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half of your time if you guys have a lot of questions. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so these GoPros here have the same exact technology that this 70-pound camera has. Okay, except these sometimes do it better. Okay, so if you guys haven't picked one of these up or haven't picked up a POV camera or a Sea Life, then I suggest talking to Gene because he's got plenty of good things. We're also a GoPro dealer here, so we got plenty of cameras, plenty of accessories for the cameras, like the anti-fog inserts, all right, which are really good for going past 60 foot because what's happening to the cameras, it gets warmer and warmer and warmer when you're in colder water. It's fogging up and it's blurring the image on your screen. Okay, so you don't have a problem with this one doing that. There's a lot of air in there. Okay, doesn't get too hot. All right, so these GoPros, they have a couple of modes on your camera. And I'll actually just take it out of this housing. This is a Sea Life, or not Sea Life. This is a this is a Sea Life competitor. All right, this is actually a housing made by Backscatter. I'm gonna pass it around. Okay, what that does is for the original GoPro Heroes, it takes the fisheye out of the magnification process that happens when you hit the water. You guys noticed with the GoPro Hero 1, which Gene and I noticed on a very technical dive where we were about 140 foot in fresh water. So we're not doing that twice. Okay, we noticed that these things would just start kind of blurring underwater to the point to where you can't focus on anything until you got about that close to it. Okay, which sucked. So then Gene and I, we went on to the Backscatter sites and we started noticing on these message boards that people are trying to fix this problem, and eventually they come up with this type of housing. Okay, and just the front is the housing. Okay, the back piece something I put on just so this little LCD screen wouldn't pop out. Okay, you don't want to go scuba diving with 2 holes in your GoPro. Okay. This just keeps it cool and makes it so audio actually goes through, which Jason should have used last time. All right, so yeah, these are completely waterproof up to 130 foot. Take it deeper, you're going to need a different housing. Actually, this one's good for 165. This one's only good up to 130 foot. Okay, they make underwater housings now that are good to 200 meters. I found that out yesterday, and earlier today, what's that? 660 foot. Okay, so they'll have GoPros that outlast the dive. Okay, so yeah, this one is pretty cool to where if you wanted to wear it on your head using one of these masks, the Go masks, you could actually use your cell phone to see what you're watching. And I like to put my cell phone inside this case. It has a little trap door for it. The cell phone will rest right there, and it will record the angle on here. And if I'm not wearing it on my head, I can put it on the back of my tank and see where things are sneaking up on me. So let me set that up. And I'll show you guys how to set that up in a second. Okay, you guys got all, everyone here has a smartphone or a tablet, right?
Mm-hmm.
No? All right.
No.
Well, it's all right. Okay, so let me turn this on.
Best Buy's got it for less than $200.
Yeah, they practically give them away now. Okay, so I just turned the camera on, and it's got a blue light. Nice. All right. So it's transmitting live feed directly to, or it's almost live, directly to the phone. All right. I could put phone.
So when you see the jaws open up behind you, it's a little late.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Drop it right in.
Like that little drawing in the bathroom, right? This is the last thing we saw of the camera was inside the shark's mouth.
It'd go on National Geographic. All right. So, there you go.
Oh, sweet.
All right. So that's pretty nice, and it's a good distraction if you're teaching a class. All right. So
Their connection's awesome.
yeah. So just imagine what the GoPro Hero 4 is going to come out with, and we'll probably have 4D where you can smell what's going on.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll be good sticking with the original.
Smells like.
All right, but these guys they record onto SD cards, micro SD cards, so no CF cards. Okay, and if you notice on the back of this thing, it's got a battery backpack attached to it. With this battery backpack fully charged, it will use the battery on the inside of the camera, and it'll also use the battery on here. And you could actually go about 6 to 8 hours without needing to charge your GoPro again. Usually on these rechargeable batteries during dives, they get cold, they get hot, they get cold, they get hot. They usually last about an hour and a half if you just use the internal battery, because it's going overtime to just get the processor and the memory card needs a little bit of help. So that's why I put this little battery backpack on. They're like $70, but they make the GoPro last 3 times longer. Okay, they work on the 1s and the 3s and the 2s. So I'm sure it's going to all work on the next one, or else GoPro's probably going to have some class action lawsuits. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and so let me show you these basic functions on here. All right, so right now, cell phone's probably still doing its thing. The GoPro has a little window on the front that tells you all the information. Okay, it tells you if you're in photo mode. You can do burst mode, so it takes like 6 or 9 or 12. You could set it up. You could have it set up to take 3 photos You can tell it to take with the new ones, the blacks, you can actually tell it to do HDR photography, which is high dynamic range. So it takes a really bright photo, takes a normal photo, and a really dark photo, and it combines them all into one photo. To where if say, we all taken photos outside or from inside of a garage, and you just see a black line, which would be the inside of the garage, and then you'd see something that would be normal colored, or at least registering on the brightness scale, and then you just see outside is just complete white and overblown. So what HDR does is that it takes the best of all three and throws it into one image, so you actually see everything show up in your photo. Okay, that's what HDR does, and the new ones will actually do HDR video. So that's pretty high tech stuff. Okay, usually you need to get one of these professional cameras and throw it into a $6,500 editing program to crush the gamma in order to get something of that image quality that this does in real time. Okay, usually spend a week trying to perfect it, and then you save it on as a setting for that day, and you do it to all your other videos, render it out, spend about a terabyte of data, and then crush it all back down to an H.264 file, which this does in real time. Okay, so technology is getting pretty good right now, so it's a good time to be alive. All right, it also does time-lapse photography. If you guys know what time-lapse photography is, I filmed a little bit of it outside. So instead of wasting all your time shooting a long video and your memory card, this was about a 5 minute, 5 minutes of time passing in 9.5 seconds. Okay.
Actually, he does work that.
I'm working hard for you, Tony. I'm working it for you.
I've seen it when he put them with caffeine. He really does move that quick.
All right, so there you go. All right, so this free program will assemble all the JPEGs that this thing will shoot, and it's made by GoPro, so they like using their own software. And in real time, you can actually watch all the JPEGs going together before you have to export it into a movie file. Okay. Usually, if you did it the other way, you wanted to watch the photos go by. It's pretty annoying that it gets blurry. Okay, and then your RAM starts running out. Okay, you can't do it without a program. Okay, and these are photos. Okay, so it's shooting in 4K, which is the same resolution that movies are shot in. Okay, so you can actually do that all right here in the program. But I'll show you how to use it. Okay, so this will shoot in that. It'll shoot, well, it's got a menu so you can change everything, and of course it shoots video. Okay, this is the silver edition. All right, it's the cheapest Hero 3. If you start buying more than one, I don't suggest buying the most expensive one over and over again. Okay, get one expensive one and then two really cheap ones, and now you got yourself an army of angles that you could take on you, so you don't have to do the dive over and over and over again to get your shots. Okay, and yeah, so that's the Hero 3. Okay, anybody here know how to use the menus yet on their GoPros? A little bit?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody here interested in learning how to use the menus on their GoPro? Or you guys want to move in onto the video editing?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. Good. They make an instruction book on how to use those things. All right. So this is called GoPro Studio. Have any of you guys used it yet?
No.
No. All right. So the way that you get this is go to GoPro.com. Okay. You'll watch their cool video of the day, where it shows some hipster jumping out of a helicopter. Okay.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
I forgot my parachute.
You can click
Where's my
on
coffee?
products.
Put it on my camera.
Okay, software and app. And then you'll see right there, you got an app on the left, and you got the GoPro Studio software right here. And it says free, so download now. The only thing they need is your email address, but you can click don't send me anything and download the program.
That's under Studio Apps.
Yeah. So products, software and app, and GoPro Studio.
The app only works for the 3, right?
It works for any MP4 video you have. Okay. So this software used to cost $1,500, maybe $1,600, depending on the version you wanted, and now it's free. Okay. So I paid full price for it a month before this thing was bought by GoPro.
Oh.
Yeah. So now I just buy it for free. I get it for free. Okay.
So it does work with the 1, 2, and 3, and then
Mhm.
obviously anything on your phone.
Yeah,
And
if
don't
you shoot
transfer.
anything on your phone,
Yeah.
I can import, let's see, here's a video file. Okay, just waiting for it, there we go.
Can you make that so we can see the controls when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
clicking?
There we go. You just crush it a little bit, because this little projector is cropping what's on my screen, so I need to resize it a little bit. Alright, so what I'm going to show you on the left hand side is basically all the raw clips that you have to play with. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to keep doing this and that and that. Let me see if I can change one thing real quick. Display, magnifier, choose the scaling, smaller, apply. All right, never mind. It's not going to work. Okay, so we'll keep moving it around like this. Okay. So here's a file from my phone. Okay, and
Aw.
yeah, close the door. All right. So it will let you import a bunch of files here. Okay.
That folder probably had was an MOV file, it works with those two.
It'll work with MOVs if you're using a Mac, and if you have QuickTime installed on your computer, you'll work on those as well. All right. So I'm gonna start from scratch here. Okay. I'm gonna make it as if you guys just got the software. Okay. So when you record a file on your GoPro, well, you're gonna need to download it, or you could just take the you're still gonna need to put it on your computer in order to play with it. So you can take your SD card out, or your micro SD card out, put it in your computer, throw it in your drive somewhere. Let's just say you put it in your videos folder. Okay? So you're gonna watch the video, you're gonna make sure it's worth throwing into the editor to begin with. All right, so this is Gene and Josh diving in Catalina. Okay, and Gene's using the GoPro Hero 1 with, the Hero 2 with this housing. Okay.
And that's on the mask. So that gives you a pretty good idea with the mask.
And yeah, he's using it on one of these guys. Okay.
Wow.
That's why you always see Josh at the beginning and end of my videos, because he's always turning it on and turning it off.
Notice this hand signals.
Okay, so yeah, so Gene played with the Hero 2, and I played with the Hero 3 during this day, and luckily Gene had a better dive than me, just because I had to do some babysitting on my dive basically. Okay.
He had what, 30, 40 foot of his?
At least.
Yeah, it was amazing.
This
It
is
was
a really
amazing.
cool dive site too.
Really, really nice looking.
That's the Lost City.
Yeah.
Yep, this is
Lost City.
one of the other side of Catalina, right?
Yeah, this is about
The furthest point. Okay.
So Gene, where do you have that camera mounted?
on the mask.
On the
Yeah,
mask?
just
Yeah,
like
Oh,
it's
okay.
like that. And then with Josh's help, we managed to get the angle, the angle just right. So it literally is looking right where I'm seeing. Because you just got to turn it slightly down so it's looking right where your eyeballs are.
exactly. Yeah, that's the.
So is that a drop of water on the inside of the housing?
Yeah, Nate chastised me.
That was actually an air bubble that got stuck on
Stuck
his.
on
on his mask. It's so micro that see it doesn't move unless you go like this.
Yeah.
So
I looked
Wow.
earlier in the job, I had some flying issues. I'm learning.
yep. But yeah, make sure that you have your angle slightly down if you decide to get a POV mask.
Did you have any filter on this?
This is just raw, all right, and it doesn't really show up until after you hit 30 or 40 foot. You know the color change.
Yeah.
On a bright day like this, but I'll show you just how you can bring all the colors back. Okay, let's see how. Yeah, deeper. See now things are kind of turning blue. Well, it was blue to begin with, but there's a lot of blue over everything.
Mhm.
So I'll show you how to get rid of that. Okay, so here's Gene looking for the lobster that just went in the crack.
Oh, yeah.
It's got this little big blue light.
All right, so this might be fun to play with. Okay, the Garibaldi staring at. Okay, Josh with his camera. All right, so now when you show people your videos or your slideshows of your entire vacation,
Mhm.
you probably want to edit out all the crap. That way they don't fall asleep before you get to the good
Well
stuff.
put.
Yeah. All right. So that's what's great about these softwares coming out is well, pretty soon you're gonna be able to do it all on your phone, anyways, and you can already on an iPhone and iPads. You know, you got iMovie on there, but on PCs, you need to either buy a program or subscribe to one or get this free app from GoPro in order to edit video. Windows Movie Maker sucks. Okay, so don't use that. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna keep this GoPro Studio open. Sorry, I have a touch screen. I'm gonna drag this GoPro file directly onto the import. Okay, and it's gonna show up. Okay, looks good. So what I want to do is I'm going to clear up some space so I can show you the next step real quick. 22 gigabytes. Or tell you what, I'll show you the next step. All right, so if I were to import this complete video, which is 34 minutes and 42 seconds and 2 frames, it's going to cost me a lot of space on my computer. It's going to cost me, here it is, right here, Josh and Gene. It's 22.8 gigabytes. That's huge. Okay, just for a 30-minute video. Okay, so if you were to find some cool parts, okay, so I'm going to just put the right side of the screen up now. Like say, well, I want to get the part where let me put another file in here, just because this is actually linking to 2 files right now. I'll put a picture in here. That should be able to import it. Okay. All right. All right, so if I were to find a spot that I wanted to put in my project, like this Garibaldi, I would mark an endpoint on here, all right?
Mhm.
And then I would hit the play button. Okay, and then I would find a spot to where I want to edit and end the clip. Okay, so if I were to stop it right here and mark an out point, you'll notice that this in and out point has now changed. Yeah, there we go. From being 34 minutes, so I mark the in point here, to 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, so I would add the clip. It's not enough space to convert. All right, so I already did all the conversions earlier today. Okay, but if you were to do that, you can convert the clip. You would find a spot on your computer to save all the files, and then it will allow you to edit the clips. Okay, so this program doesn't allow you to edit compressed files. It needs to uncompress the video to give you all the tools to edit your video. Okay, just like a pro program.
So when you take that slice of the clip and you say save that somewhere, are you putting starting a folder of those and then that's what you'll re-import back in?
It will automatically import it, but yeah, what it does is that it makes a new set of files for you to play with. So you're not playing with the original video, okay? So you're not going to destroy it if you were to
You don't lose
save
it at all.
You don't lose it at all. Okay. So I'm gonna clear out all. Okay, and move this over here again. So I already edited it. I already put it together. It's called Josh and Gene. Okay. So I'm gonna open it up. And there you go. All right. So you take a look. It's the same video that we just looked at. Okay. Except now it's completely raw. Okay. Once videos are raw, you can actually edit them a lot quicker. It doesn't have to do a bunch of processing to decode the video. It's just a complete file.
Why does it still have the same time though?
Well, this was me converting it in a previous time. So
I meant the 34 minutes and 42 seconds.
Because that's how I decoded it earlier today. Okay, so that's just me trying to save some time, throwing the
Okay.
entire clip in here.
All right, so
Okay.
you had the thing ready to go in the oven, like the TV show.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so I could put in points and out points on here too, if I want to edit. All right, and I'm gonna get rid of everything on this timeline real quick. Okay. Let me get rid of all this. All right, almost done. All right. So we're left with a blank slate. All right. So what we have here in the edit mode is we have your clips. We have a timeline. All right. And what your timeline will be is a visual representation of your entire project. Okay. And on the right, we have a bunch of presets. Okay. If you want to put text and titles and stuff, if you want to shoot 3D video, you could change your view of the 3D cameras that you play with. Okay. You could have it set to be full quality, half quality, quarter quality. If you have a slow computer or a computer that doesn't have a video card, you probably want to edit in draft mode. Okay. And then when you want to watch what you've done, you throw it into best mode and then do a little playback. Okay. I put in auto. It does the conversions for me, and I don't really need to worry about it once I go to export the video. Okay, so this Josh and Gene AVI, I have it selected. What it's going to do is it's going to show me what the file is. So we got the entire 34 minutes, 42 seconds. I'm going to hit play on here. Okay, so we got Josh walking away. Gene puts his head in the water, puts back up. All right, that's all I wanted this. I'm going to make an out point, okay? So mark out. So now I got 10 seconds and 3 frames. Okay, you could actually, if you want to do complete 10 seconds, you can hit the left arrow and hit the out. Okay, if you hit left arrow, you go backwards a frame. If you hit the right arrow, you can hold it down and watch it. Or if you hit L, that's like forwards, K is stop, and J is back. And if you were to look at it on your keyboard, it's just J, K, L. Okay. That's usually every single professional video program has J, K, L as a reverse, stop, and forward. Okay.
We got that in Unix too.
Okay.
Those are your jump. Jump down, kite, fly high.
Nice. I haven't
Throw
played
that, I'll throw that in.
I don't know anything about Unix except that Mac uses it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these first 10 seconds. Okay. Now I have this selected. I'm just going to take this video. I'm going to left click, and drag it. Whoa, sorry guys. I'm gonna drag once this computer wakes back up. There we go. I'm gonna drag it right here on the timeline, okay? And I have these 10 seconds selected, okay? So if I were to play back after clicking on here, it's the entire, it's just the 10 seconds. It's not the 34-minute video, okay? So I don't like the audio on a dive. So what I do is I take the audio controls on the right, make sure that this is selected, and I just drag it all the way to the left, okay? That means it's going to go to where your ear can't even hear it anymore, minus 42 decibels. All right, that's usually infinite on a computer program. Okay, so now when I hit play, I turn the volume up, I can't hear it at all. Okay, so you don't hear all the breathing and all the annoying stuff. Okay, if Gene says big fish, then we'll turn the volume back up. Okay, so let's go somewhere else on here. I wanna shoot their descent. Okay, so yeah, I don't like to hear that. So it looks like they're just stationary here. Now, if you were to hit L while playing it, you can actually speed up the video and get on with the program. Well, it looks like Gene got trapped and killed.
That wasn't good.
All right, so I want to put that in the video. So I'm going to mark an in point.
Yeah.
All right, so if I mark an in point, it's going to say, well, your out point's the end of the video. So be aware of that, okay? And I'll just fast forward it. I don't need to watch it in real time. Okay, he got rid of the kelp and started his descent. So I'm going to hit O on the keyboard, or I'll just mark the out point. All right, so I got another 12 seconds in here. All right, so I didn't bore the world. Okay, I'll drag it to the right again. Okay, and look right here between the clip. Say if I were to do playback, it would just go there. But if you wanted to do a passage of time, say like a dissolve, all you need to do in this software is to click this box, and it shows up as white on one side and gray on the other. So now if I play back, there you go, nice smooth transition.
Wow.
Okay, still has the audio in here. So let me slide that back down to 0. So I can keep sliding these clips individually down to 0 or -42, or I can just click on the master file and then drag the master down all the way. And now if I were to import, say, this and that onto the timeline and play back, it's already edited for me. See, the audio is already gone. It's already erased, okay? But you can't automatically add a transition to everything. So if you want to do that, you can. All right, so look how green this video is, okay? That's not usually how it is in real life. That's not why we go scuba diving. We like things pretty, okay? Unless you're in Monterey. So this white balance mode is just like Photoshop, all right? But it's very simple, okay? You can't do too much with video that's compressed, even if you uncompress it. So it wants to ask you what white is, okay? So if we look, maybe it's not here, but if we fast forward somewhere, let's see, anything white, maybe some of this crap on the rock. So if I were to hit pick and to click on that, look at that. It just did an automatic white balance for me. And this rock looks like a rock now. Okay, so before, let's see what it was before. All right, and then after there. Okay, so also be aware what you click on. Okay, when I go scuba diving and film video, I take a slate with me, take a gray card. Okay, that way when I throw it into Premiere Pro, I could say this is gray, this is black, and this is white. And so whenever I go to another depth, then I know it's going to be another change of color. Take the slate, put it in front of the camera for a couple seconds, pull it out. Maybe I'll put it on my fin. Some people they'll buy gray fins just for the purpose of being able to edit video later on in life. Okay. So white balance becomes a lot easier when you know what's white. All right. So you can also manually kind of dial it in. You can make it warmer if you want it to, make it cooler. Okay. This is compressed video, so you'll start seeing things artifact if you experiment too much. Okay.
It looks like a head. Turned to the blue.
Yeah, you could change. Yeah, you could change the tint of colors, so you can,
Just like Photoshop.
yeah, just like Photoshop, exactly.
How deep are you? You're only about 40 feet?
Yeah.
Still getting a lot of light.
Yeah, Cali is great. Okay, so you could also add keyframes and stuff. All right, I won't show you guys keyframes until we get another basic understanding of how this program works. All right, there's presets if you want things to look 70s or crazy. You can click these things. Okay, it's kind of like Instagram. Okay, where I just took all the effects off here, but there's a lot of pre-edits that you're able to just take from. Okay, let's see. We do day for night, so it kind of does look like it's nighttime. Candy color. Okay, you can put black bars on the top and the bottom of your video. Okay, it just keeps going on forever and ever.
You're gonna talk about that Pro Tune setting?
The Pro Tune.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is just it's a preset. Yeah. So
Because I thought it was something called Pro Tune.
yeah, that's just what that is right there. It just what Pro Tune does is it tries to make things look like it's HDR. So you see this. This is how it is. It shoots in a normal gamma. Okay, gamma is the digital gray that you're able to take from and edit. So if you see these shadows have a lot of information in them, if you were to Pro Tune it, it would squash that information down and make things, it's kind of like more contrasty, okay? And then you could always add white balance to it as well. Okay, so.
Can you, while you're viewing it like that, can you zoom in on the frame so that you could like find a white spot? You know what I'm saying?
You can't. Not with this program. You just
Okay.
need a bigger. But if I wasn't connected to this, I could make the screen bigger. Like say right now this is 1024 by 768, the entire screen. I usually edit in 1080p, so you can actually have the screen that you're editing from almost your entire computer monitor. So that'd be a way of zooming things in. So just not edit with the projector on. Okay. All right. So if you were, well, we're not done yet. Let's add another file in here. Okay. So I'm gonna drag this over here. Gonna add another media file. Let's see. Let's go. Irene and I and okay.
So real quick on the out points, you have it on your left-hand side. Is the whole video still there? Well, I noticed that once you cut that out point,
Yeah.
you could go back to it, but it was just that
Yeah.
section.
So this whole
So where's the other video at that point, or the rest of it, 30 minutes? Is it still
The rest
on
of it,
that left
it's-
side?
Yeah, it's what you see here.
Oh,
these
okay, it's
video
just marking
points.
that point.
Yeah, you're just marking what you want to be
Okay.
thrown into your timeline.
Okay, so but once you do the mark out, though, it'll always go back to that point, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
reset it at the beginning or anything.
Yeah. If
Your
you
out
mark
point was
out-
the last point.
Yeah. Say.
Okay.
So you got a good question here. If you had a file like I'll make sure I'm up here. Okay, and you saw something cool. You say, hey, I want to end it on this frame, but it's already before your edit. You mark an out point. See, it's going to move your in point to
Okay.
the beginning of the file. So make sure.
So do you have to make sure that you drag that down and save it in that lower box? Your out point section or your section that you cut has to be down that lower box in order for it to be saved, right?
Yeah, it has to be
Okay.
in the lower area.
All right.
Yeah.
And then your main video is always back on that left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so here,
Yeah.
this is just one way of using the program to edit. If and you're also able to go back and make changes later. Say if you click on this middle video, okay, you can actually say I wanted to make it even shorter. I can mark an out point on that spot, and it already trimmed it here in the video.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you want to move this to a different endpoint, say if you take a look, it shows Gene's fins. All right, if I mark an endpoint, it's now at the part where I saw. Okay?
Now, can you, after you had cut that one point, can you add to it from the other video
You
point?
can't add
or is
to
it
it.
just that section now?
Just a second.
Well,
It's just-
actually, yeah. This says that you can. Let me go all the way to the beginning. Yeah, you can actually go to and from,
Okay.
depending on
Yeah.
how the software's acting. All right, usually it's Zoom.
So for the most part, you still have full
Yeah.
range of the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have the full range. So I can mark an out point at the end of the video in between, and now you'll have a longer in between. Okay. All right. So yeah, so we got two clips in here. Okay, they're completely unrelated. Okay, I'm gonna just put this whole entire clip in the timeline. All right. So this is a different way of editing. So I drag the entire 30-second clip. Okay, if I were to play it back on the timeline, show me handing my fins to a dive master. Okay, here's the Hero 3. So I had it in 1080p and it cropped a lot of it out. So I'll never shoot 1080p on the Hero 3 again, wherever the heck it's at. In someone's pocket. Here it is. So I'll never shoot 1080p on this camera.
So what's your recommendation?
I shoot 960p.
Which
Okay, 960.
one?
So it's in between. It shoots 1600 by 960. So if you were to down convert it to 720p, you can still choose a lot to edit from.
Oh, okay.
But it'll use a full
And then-
sensor. It'll use the whole full sensor if you shoot 960, and that's the only way you'll get the full sensor out of a 3 silver.
Okay. Yeah. What about the Hero 1? That
The 3
doesn't.
Plus.
Yeah,
I'm on
the 3 Plus will shoot 1080p full sensor,
Okay,
and if you throw it into 4K, it'll be a crop sensor.
okay.
The Hero 1,
Yeah.
this thing will shoot 720p full sensor,
Okay.
and then 1080p crop sensor.
So ideally on the Hero 1, I want to keep it on the 720 then.
Uh-huh.
What's the crop sensor?
It basically, it gives you, I'll show you a visual representation if I get my phone back.
Oh, no. I'm mine, I'm right next to this guy, so I'm on it.
Right. Cool. Been on for a while. All right, so I'm gonna control this guy real quick. Okay, so put it on me. Make sure that's in video mode. Put the SD card back in.
Details.
Real quick on SD cards, I noticed on the Hero 1 I had a real problem on cheaper ones, it wouldn't read the file. Even though a brand new card would recognize it when I went to a higher quality card than it would.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normally it's just spend the money on the better card, period.
Go with the bigger,
Yeah.
Yeah, go with like there's a
What's the biggest they're at now?
there's a thing on the
32.
boxes that say like class on it. Make sure
Okay.
you get like a class 10 card or
Class 10?
anything above a class 6 will work good.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the GoPro website recommended the 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
10s you won't have usually like when these cameras record onto them, they need a lot of buffer space so they don't go into the processor and just lock
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
Okay. Turn this on. Turn on the Wi-Fi. Okay. Just gonna turn on here. into it. All right, so you guys notice this is going to be 1080p, okay? You guys get a nice wide view, okay? But, oh no, it's a 960. All right, so you guys take a look at the view. I got Dana, okay? And then, yeah, so I got the entire, I got all the way up to the window over there, okay? So, if I were to put it in 1080p and go back, there you go. So that's what a crop sensor is, okay? So I'm missing out on at least 50% on what the GoPro Hero is actually going into the sensor.
That's percent.
So if you want to do a screen grab and make an actual photo,
That's what cut out of it.
which one would be better?
If you want to make a photo, well, what do you want? You want to throw it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Then I'd throw it at 960.
Okay. And if you want to do prints for the, you know.
If you want to do prints, I'd put it in photo mode. Just, but if you had to do it from video, I'd still do 960 and just throw it into some Photoshop filter that upscales the image.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah, it doesn't look the best, but I mean, you're gonna get a lot more information from shooting with a full sensor than you are with a crop sensor.
So does the GoPro software let you do a screen grab off of?
This software won't.
Okay.
Okay, but if you have QuickTime on your computer,
Yeah.
you can just go save frame.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the difference.
Is
And
the software from the 3 Plus or just or is it the same software for all of them?
it's for all of them. Yeah, yeah. It will work with the cell phone. Okay, so if you shoot video with your cell phone, you can still use this program. All right. So I got this whole file in here. Okay, it's just me getting out of the water, then a bunch of downtime, and then I smooch the girl at the end. All right. So good times, right? All right. So I don't want to put all of this walking past the boat in here. So I can do two things. I can either grab this, set an in point and an out point, and then put the file back in, set an in point and an out point, or I could do it the easy way. Say, I know I want it to stop right here. There's a little razor tool. Okay, it says split. Oh, let me drag this to the right. Okay, it says split the current clip into 2 clips. So if I were to click it here, see, it just added, it just cut it in between. All right, so you don't need to do any guesswork on when to start the next clip. Okay, and I can now watch this file. Hit play. I have this selected. I say got my kelp workout, blah 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 blah. All right, so I don't need this in the video. Okay, I just wipe my nose.
You should wipe it before you kissed her.
Yep.
Learn it.
So thoughtful.
Learn it.
All right, so you see, I have this thing selected here. You see a little yellow box over it, right?
Yeah.
If I were to select an in point by clicking here, hitting I, and now just edited that piece for me, and I could add a transition in between the 2 clips. So I hit play, and look at that. I'm still wiping my nose here. Boom, big kiss. All right. And now I want this to be the out point. Okay, I just hit O, or I can click that, and that's the end of it. Okay, but usually videos, kind of fade in and fade out, right? All right, so all you need to do is select this, the end clip, and you'll see right here, there's a video control tab. Here we go. All right, there's a video control. You can make it twice the speed or slow it down. If you see something here, it says fade out in seconds. Well, it automatically knows where the clip ends. So all you need to do is say, I want to make it a 3-second fade out, or you can just type straight. Okay, so now if I play this back,
Cool.
it's
Oh.
automatically done.
Very nice.
All right, so it's pretty cool.
Make it diamond too, like.
Yeah, no, you know, you need a 6500 program for that one. All right.
Should have a little heart.
Yeah.
Heart to heart, right?
That's for the wedding video.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you could also, you know, you could always zoom in the video. There's framing controls. You can zoom out. I don't know why you want to zoom out, make it a black box. But yeah, there's plenty of cool controls in here. You can flip it horizontally. So if you shot yourself in the mirror and you wanted to read your T-shirt, you can click that. Alright. Or if you're upside down, like say you filmed it on a car underneath the frame, which I usually do for when I shoot movies with chase scenes in them. You know, I want to get like the road going by, so I'm gonna have the GoPro as low as possible without it hitting a speed bump. And I'm gonna click this little vertical guy. All right, and so it's gonna just display the video if this thing was flipped upside down and you didn't tell it to do it in post.
Mhm. I was just thinking that.
Exactly,
There's
yeah,
plenty
so-
of fish that hang upside down, they look stupid.
How many
upside down.
times do we poke our head, you know, out into a rock with their feet up in the air, right? Well, there's a quick fix on that. Click. All right, so now the video is facing upwards.
So we can take video inverted and it still works.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's awesome. And say, let's see what else we got here. There's probably a point of this video, like right here. Okay, say this. I'll put it into import and convert mode real quick. Okay. All right. Have this file on here. It acts a little funky with the display right now, just because I'm shrinking the video way below the program's recommended size. So if I had it full screen, it wouldn't give me that problem. But for right now, it's giving me this weird issue. Okay. Yeah. Well, say if you wanted something to not have a fisheye look, okay, which usually exists at the surface with the GoPro, you mark an in point and an out point, okay, and when you add your clip, before you add it, you can click on this advanced settings mode, all right, and you could actually change. You speed up the clip, blah blah blah. You could change it into a MOV file if you're using a Mac. Okay, because Mac's file, they play MOV files better than AVI files. AVI for Microsoft, MOV for Mac. Okay. Change the quality of the clip. Say if you want to wait longer for it to render. You plan on doing a lot of color correction to it later. Put it in high mode. You plan on just taking it and throwing it into a timeline and throwing it out to YouTube in a minute. Put it on low. Keep it in medium. Don't matter. You're still going to get a huge, you know, multi-gigabyte file. Okay. If you were to click this remove fisheye, what it would do is that would distort the video to where it's no longer giving that little concave fisheye. It would just push the outer side forward, and it would warp the video. But right now, I just don't have the space to do it. Just trust me that it works. I did it with this clip right here. Okay, this was fisheye. And you can see that it's not warping the sides anymore. Okay, it doesn't look like I'm in a fisheye stalker camera for skateboard videos that nobody watches. Okay. All right. So now I got all this. I got all these clips on here, but it's silent. So let's add some music, right? All right. So let me find some politically correct music. All right. Media, music, death metal, death metal, death metal. More death metal, death metal.
Keep me on that, please.
How about some big bang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay, maybe.
All right. There we go. Okay.
So you put it into where you're adding media?
Yeah, so I'm in the edit mode, right? I don't need to convert this
Suite
file.
would be better.
Yeah.
What's that?
Blue Suite would be better.
Blue Suite? I don't know, some strong Thurgood. All right. All right, so if I were to take this thing, it looks like a little microphone.
Mhm.
There's 2 tracks for audio, okay? There's one for music, and then there's another one for voiceover, okay?
Alright, what's that?
All right, so let's say this thing's, it says it's 4 minutes and 49 seconds, okay? So it says, let's see how long this piece is. This whole piece is over 37 minutes long, so I gotta find which piece that didn't get edited. This one right here, I just drag and dropped it in. That's right, because we asked about in points and out points. Okay, so I'm gonna make this, there you go. Now it's only 37 seconds long. All right, 14 seconds long. All right, so now if I were to do playback after dragging this clip in, there you go. This clip right here, it's a little bright. Okay, so just like Photoshop, we can adjust the image controls. There's an exposure tab right here. If I have this selected, and open up image controls, and just drag this to the left, make it a little darker. But I don't see any information because I think it was fogged up from Gene's GoPro. Okay. Let's see. Maybe the contrast. Let's slide the contrast up. There we go. All right. Let's also make it white. Yeah, this bubble here is white. Cool. All right. I got very exciting. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit.
So Nate, once you've got this video all together,
Mm-hmm.
you can delete the original stuff, right?
You don't want to delete any of the clips.
That's your backup.
Yeah.
Well, if you're creating a new movie, you're getting rid of all the crap. How do you just get the crap off your computer?
Well, yeah. Once you have it exported, then you could delete the project videos. Okay.
The source.
Yeah. Not the source, but the new files that it made. You don't want to delete the source files just in case you want to throw it into another project, right? Down the line.
I don't think he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm saying is if you got a whole bunch of nose picking and snot face,
Yeah.
cut that off and get off your computer.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
But-
so that would be the stuff on the left.
Yeah,
We would
but
delete and keep the stuff at the bottom.
exactly. But you want to, you don't delete this until after you go export your movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spend a day editing this thing. You want to put it on a disc. You could throw it on HD 1080p. You want to put it on the internet. Hit the YouTube button. Okay.
So if you select like HD 1080p, okay, so you select that one, let's say, and then you say export, is that going to automatically tell it what kind of DVD to burn?
It's not going to throw it to a disc. It's going to make a file for you to put onto a disc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two-step process.
Yeah. I put most of my files on archive and edit, and it puts it in the same $1,500 file format called Cineform AVI. Put it on. I mean, you want to go crazy, you can put it on film scan too, and look, you just tripled your size easily. So this is no matter what you do, you can't damage the file. You could put it onto 15 hard drives. You can copy it onto tape and back, and it still look good. Okay, so I put on high quality. Okay, because I know if I were to delete all my source files, I at least have the best video that I had from those files, and I can't go back if I delete it.
So you're saying for long-term storage,
Yeah.
do the archive as opposed to the 1080p?
Yes. If you don't care about throwing it into video editing programs later on in life, you just say, this is a 1080p video. I'm probably going to look at it, 10 times in my life. I'm not selling it. So, 1080 HD 1080p is just fine. It's the same exact bit rate that these things shoot. So,
But once that, you can't edit it again, right?
exactly. Once it's in
It's
there,
done.
if you do edit it, it'll be really hard to get the blacks to be gray. It'll be really hard to get the whites to be less white. To where you get information out of your video. It crushes all the info out of your video.
So the archive is just high quality.
Exactly. Yeah, it's less compression.
Okay.
Okay. So we want to save this. We want to throw it on YouTube. Okay. So it changes the bit rate to 12 versus 22. Okay. And it still saves it in 1080p. It still saves it in 30p, which is not actually 30 frames a second. It's 29.97. Okay, so it's the same. It's the same standards for television. In this file right here. Okay, it's DirecTV quality. Okay, so
Which is 1080p, 1080,
Yeah.
30p.
1080 30p at 12 megabits a second. Okay, so about 4 or 5 megabytes a second. DSO. Okay, so what you want to do, you save it. Make sure you put like export or edited. That way you don't confuse the files later down the line when you're dragging it back into your timeline. You don't want to put your just edited file into the timeline. Okay, edited Catalina. Okay, and it really helps if you have a solid state drive. All right, so I'm not gonna have you guys watch this screen go all the way to the right, but it would crunch the file down into something that you can share to people. Okay, so this is a 4-minute movie. I edited this right before you guys came in. I'll show you guys how to do a title in a second. It's just Irene and I playing around, and it's our first saltwater dive.
That's mounted on your mask, the camera.
What's that?
The camera's mounted on your
Yeah,
mask.
yeah. This is the first time I used this mount, and like Gene said, you got to make sure. Yeah, make sure that not so down to where you're seeing your hands, but I had it set to where I was looking in the mirror and making it right by looking at my phone, because I couldn't take my phone underwater because I didn't bring this guy. And I didn't realize that when I scuba dive, I usually have my head down like this, and I'm looking at the top of my mask. Okay, so where's the GoPro looking now? It's just looking straight down.
Straight down.
So that's why it helps to have a dive buddy that knows how to set a camera. All right, so I'm never making that mistake again. I'm taking my camera with me with a little viewer,
Also,
at least on the boat.
I noticed that the screw can get loose too, and all of a sudden it starts flopping or goes
Oh, yeah.
flat against your head.
I have a bigger screw just because of that. Yeah, they make the one you're probably talking about was the screw will go to here, right?
No, even this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen them actually pop out because it's gone in and out so many times. The screw will pop out and go
Oh,
down. Then I just stop. I grab the camera, just, like a ninja.
at least he caught it.
Yeah. But I could see the screw going and screwed itself down as it was sinking. It's very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth going between the GoPro and your iPhone.
It does
What
it
kind of
through
range
through
does it have?
Wi-Fi, and it's got about underwater it's got like a 1 to 3 foot range, but at the surface it's got line of sight. I was doing. Let's see if I still have a folder open.
But in theory, for something like your phone, you could get one of those new little,
Pouches.
yeah, they're like a pouch. that you can put like any kind of point and shoot.
Yeah,
in.
exactly. Like you
They're
talk
like
the see-through ones.
$35,
Mhm.
and they're just they're vinyl, but they're called optical grade vinyl,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just see through them and punch things and do things on them. They're pretty cool.
Much better than a Ziploc.
Yeah, much better.
2 Ziplocs. Yeah, that's the tech version.
That's right. Ziploc bag.
That's right.
Okay.
Freezer bag.
All right, so these GoPros,
Well, those are heavier duty.
Freezer
I was
bag. Little bit heavier.
shooting on top of this. These are all time lapses shot on the GoPros. And in picture mode, I mean, you get such a wider view than video. This is a full sensor. I mean, you're seeing 160 degrees.
Getting that job done really quick.
Yeah, this is in San Francisco, but they lifted a crane.
Is that a tank?
Pretty close.
What was that? He was lifting.
Yeah, the
Crane.
crane.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Another crane?
Yeah, here's a crane setting up. It took all day in San Francisco. See, there's Alcatraz right there. Moving base plates and stuff to set the crane up there so it doesn't go through the roof. Okay. Actually, it'll show up. Oh yeah, that's right. It took all day. Let's see. There it is.
Wow.
A big drill bit?
It actually was a drill. Yeah, they're drilling through. They're making a pool for this billionaire's house
A swimming pool?
On the roof.
on the roof. Well, he has like 2 roofs, so yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah. Anywho, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, 2
But
roofs. You need
I was
to do
able
something.
to stand on top of the guy's roof with fall protection.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to control the GoPros with the Wi-Fi device
Mm-hmm.
from the phone, as they're set up throughout the entire block. And so they do have a really good range through Wi-Fi, but underwater, it's just all the particulate and just the water itself scrambling the signal. It doesn't go that far. So yeah. All right. So going back to this. So once you have it edited, you can go back and you can reveal your clips by, well, let me make sure you can see it. So it's Josh and Gene AVI file, which was 22.5 gigabytes. I want to get rid of that. Okay. So I'm not deleting the original file here. I'm deleting the one that I was playing with. Okay. 22.8 gigs. All I had to do is reveal and explore, then delete it. Okay, but it says I'm using it in the program, so let me close the program. You can save the file. Well, tell you what, before I delete it, I'm going to show you guys how to put titles in. All right.
Thank you.
How about if you want to narrate it instead of the music?
You can do that too. You're going to need your own device. So if you were to watch it and say, I got sound recorder up,
Okay.
you can just play the video. Hey, there's Josh. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I can stop the recording. Name it. GoPro class.
Yeah, just show that to Josh.
Okay, continue record. Okay. I saved it on my desktop. It says GoPro class right here. Put it in there. Eventually it's going to show up. It's analyzing the file, that's why it takes a little bit. So, WMA file, I wonder if it does work in here. Well, it'll take an MP3, no problem. But,
So how do you convert the WMA to an MP3?
let's see.
If you put it into iTunes, can you convert it?
Yeah, you can do it through iTunes.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, iTunes. Alright. So if I take this file, put it in the voice memos playlist, convert it. Of course, this was the entire session. Okay. Almost there. Or we could just make one up real quick. And give me the hard one, Dana.
I know.
Yep. Oh wow, look at Josh. Good thing he set my camera and I'm not Gene. All right, good times. All right, so voice over. I usually do this in like Pro Tools or a program that's designed for putting voiceovers to video, but this will work too. Okay. Voiceover. So let's get it. Dragging it into iTunes. So I'm just going to convert it. There it goes. All right, took a little bit less time. So what did it convert it to? An M4A file. All right. So if I were to right click on here, it says create AAC. Well, let's see what it did. I'm gonna drag this right back out onto the desktop. And this add media. Look at there, voiceover showed up. Thanks iTunes. Thanks Jody. Okay. Now I can drag this right there on the timeline. Okay. Oh wow, look at Josh. Good thing he set my camera. Okay, so the background's too loud. Okay. So here's a good way to fix that. Okay. You'll see a visual representation of the audio file. Okay, this is where it starts, that's where it ends. Okay, if you were to select this I Got a Feeling song and put a little razor edit in between, you'll split them in two, and all you need to do is do a level change to the beginning, say -16 decibels. Oh wow, look at Josh. Good thing he set my camera and I'm not Gene. All right, good times. All right, there we go. Just automatically changed it. Wow. Okay. So I'm glad that was easy.
And then you can still fade in that music where it gets abruptly loud.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
sure
at
can.
one point.
You can add transitions. You can go crazy and add a keyframe to it. Okay. There's another way of editing this, is adding keyframes to things. That's basically you automate sliding. Okay, to where the program will tell it to start and stop. Okay. There's a lot to that. Okay, so I don't want you guys to yeah, there's a lot to that. So I showed you the easy way of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's YouTube tutorials on how to use this keyframing thing, and it goes to about 2 hours. Okay, so don't want you guys to do that. We've already been here long enough. Okay, so let's
Just a real quick question on the music. If you have a 3-minute video you want to put music to, but the song you're using is only 2.5 minutes long, how do you adjust the length of the song?
Uh,
Or do you,
so you can't make a song longer,
right,
but say if you had the opposite problem to where you were putting like Indagata Davida on the
Right.
song and they had that 18-minute drum solo,
right,
well, you're not gonna have just 17 minutes of blank video while the drums just go crazy. So what you want to do is see, look, this song's actually much longer. Okay, it keeps going. So if you were to export this video, you'd be having a lot of this. Okay.
So you cut it?
So yeah, all you need to do is have this selected, use the razor tool, okay, get rid of it,
Okay.
but
For the other problem, when the
yeah,
video's longer than the
just
music,
use 2 songs.
2 songs.
Yeah,
Or you can loop the same song, right?
yeah, loop the same song, but I like to do something even less noticeable. So I find a part where it's just instrumental, and I copy that section, and then I paste it into the same song, and then now I have something that's like an extra 30 seconds long of the same song.
Gotcha, okay.
And then you just fade them into each other, and then no one knows the better, except for the musician. Like, oh, I didn't play it solo that long.
So I got a real quick video question too. I got a bunch of video from riding bikes of the sun coming in and then going dark, and I get that large contrast on playback.
Mhm.
What's the best way to edit that down or to get rid of that?
The contrast.
The contrast would be as I'm going through it. But
Um,
then would I have to individually do it per part because
Yeah.
sometimes it
you
washes
would
out.
need to change it per part. If you don't have we're not using Adobe Premiere because that's a totally different mind game.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're using Premiere. All right, so I'll show you.
Try it.
But on the GoPro
On the
portion, it would-
GoPro, so what you want to do is you want to go to Image Controls,
Uh-huh.
and then on the image itself, say it's nighttime and you got a lot of contrast, you just drag the contrast down and it will give you more of that. Instead of it being black, it would start graying things up,
Okay.
putting color back.
Now in the video when it switches back and forth, I got a lot of like forest riding where all of a sudden I'm in the sun and I'm out of the sun,
Mhm.
and it goes back and forth. Would I have to do the
You
cut
would-
in, cut
you
out
would
part?
do-
and
you would do the
each of those?
razor. Yeah.
Okay.
You would razor it, and then without.
Not the answer you wanted.
No,
That's the easy way of doing it.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So.
How much time do you need to
Yeah,
do it?
exactly.
Yeah.
The easier way is to get
Some of that's
this
kinda cool,
program
shows
right
you're doing
here.
that.
Yeah, true.
Okay, Adobe Premiere, and then start a project.
Yes.
Next project.
And then find a
Is that
file.
free too, or is that
It's
cost?
free for a month.
Oh,
yeah.
see.
Yeah, and it's that way for a reason. Okay,
After that.
so find a file you want to fix.
Yeah. I like it. I'm gonna buy it.
Put it into a sequence, add an effect called color correction, and there will be a fast color corrector. Okay, and you could literally, automatically have the software change the brightness for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could have it change the contrast for you, and it'll just analyze the image. It'll say, "Oh, this is way too black. I'm gonna fix it. Oh, this is way too bright. I'm gonna fix it." And it's gonna legalize it. Okay.
So they can spend thousands of dollars to use a razor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Just live with it.
Yeah.
Or get it for a month and do all that stuff in a month, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
All right. So look, auto black level, auto contrast, auto white level. Okay. And then, it's not going to do it here. I'm not going to waste the time to show you guys this, but
I
the
got you.
program will do it. Okay. All right. So we got a fade out. Okay. Let's have it fade in. 1 second. All right. So here's a good spot to throw a title. Okay. So right next to media, there's a title button. Boom. Okay. Shows up, just says title. Pretty simple. Okay. What you can do is on this title properties area, right next to your view and all your other options, start typing in here. Say, Catalina was fun. Okay. You can change the size. Okay. You can have this all change in real time too.
Can you make it pop and make it confetti?
Let's see. You can do that in Premiere. Yeah.
Yeah, Premiere,
You got the confetti light. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got a good size. Okay. You can drag it wherever you want. Okay. Usually you have lower thirds versus kind of thrown in the middle, being annoying. So lower thirds would work. Okay. And once you have that made, you can drag it anywhere you want in the timeline. You have 2 layers for titles. Okay, they do that so you can have titles kind of fade in underneath or on top. So if I were to do this, all right, that's in the wrong spot. So I'll grab it. There we go. Catalina equals fun. Oh wow, look at Josh. Good thing he set my camera. Okay. Change the levels back down. I think I told it to not do it. All right, so good thing he set my camera. All right, so I want that to be a new title after I said good thing he set my camera. So I'm going to add another title. Okay, and I'm just going to have it say 2, 15, 20, 14. And I'll have it a little bit smaller. Okay. So now, I'll drag this right here. And I'm not. Okay. And you guys can do whatever the heck you want with your titles. All right. Good time. So they automatically fade in and fade out. But that's kind of annoying just being there by itself. So I want them both fade out at the same time. Okay. So all I have to do is find where this file ends. Okay, you'll see there that little green spot right here. I'll hit on there. I'll hit O to mark an out point. Okay, so now when I do playback, you set my camera, and I'm not Gene. Fade in. All right. Fade out together. Boom. Okay. Usually a magic rule for titles is you should be able to read it 1.5 times. So, you know, it's not a Tom Clancy intro where like they have the typewriter going and you're halfway through and it gets to the nuclear submarine and you're like, okay, I don't care anymore. Okay. So we got these going. Okay. Yeah, looks like I landed up the wrong thing. I landed up with my voiceover. All right, there we go. They're now lined up. Okay. So let's fix this song. All right, so the song just keeps playing. All right, that's a good spot to end it. So you can either set an out point or you can drag it to where it stops. Okay. If you see something that looks like a squeezer, all right, looks like some dumbbells. Okay. So you could either drag it to the right, make it longer. You can drag to the left, make it shorter. Okay, so if you wanted to like switch songs in between or just have it fade out before the video is done, you're able to do that. Okay, you don't have to wait for the song to be over.
So the fade. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. The fade out on the properties on the audio that you dictate that 2-3 seconds.
Exactly.
It'll happen before and then end at that same cut point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the fade out will basically talk to the end of this clip. All right, wherever you set it, that's when this will start. And the fade in will start wherever you start the clip.
Okay.
It won't be, it's not timeline based, it's just the clip side.
Yeah, but it'll start to fade out whatever seconds before the end of it.
Yes.
So you just made that
Before the
song longer, you dragged it longer.
Yeah, I dragged it longer.
But you can't make it longer than the actual song is, or?
You can't make it longer than the actual song. Yeah. if you did, it would slow down the,
Right, it was slowed down.
yeah, to where like Darth Vader sings the blues or, yeah. All right, there it is. Okay, so when you're done, export, YouTube, export, done. All right. All right,
Bravo.
cool.
Excellent.
Any questions?
No.
1,000, but
All
I
right.
think we'll cover those later.
Good. All right. So, that said, anybody interested in learning how to use a Adobe Premiere? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Stick around. All right. The rest of you guys, GoPro, once again, on their website, it's free. You get the basic functions for editing video. I mean, obviously, you're not adding 3D animation to it. You're not going crazy with your stuff. You're just showing, hey, here's my one angle of GoPro. Okay, so if you have two angles and you want to sync them together, like you were interested in doing,
Yeah, that was my next question real quick, was when you have multiple GoPros and you're all in line,
Mhm.
how do I put them, say, throw them on a projector at the end of the night after a
Yeah,
dive or something?
you're gonna want Adobe Premiere for that.
Oh, okay, so that software really can't do it then?
Yeah, this one, not yet. It's
Okay.
not doing multi-angle GoPro.
Oh, okay.
You know, I keep
So it
reading,
won't even do a split?
they
then
want
on
the
the
split
two.
screen.
Now, when you talk about Adobe Premiere, I mean, just like, I know you're a Photoshop fan, but you know, a lot of us have the elements. And so in the Premiere elements, would you be able to do that in Premiere elements?
There is.
There is,
There is.
that's what I've got, yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
can buy them
usually
at
bundled
Costco.
with Photoshop elements, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, you could buy them bundled at Costco and stuff. I think you can add multiple video layers. It's pretty tricky in Premiere Elements, but because they try to limit you to make you buy the full version. But I believe you can do like 2 video layers, so maybe you'll be able to do split screen. I don't. It's been so long. The last time I used it, I was helping Dave Van Bilkenberg make a video for our bridge hunt type deal, and he was so frustrated with Elements that he bought the full version and said, "Well, it's night and day." Okay, so anywho, I mean, this program's now available for $20 a month, so it's not that bad of a deal. You could always rent the program until you.
Does the program have to be online in order for it to constantly use?
You have to do it every month.
Every month,
Yeah.
so, okay.
So they give
So
you.
if you don't
they
have
give you some
internet
leeway.
access,
Mm-hmm.
it'll still work?
Yeah, because when I'm on set, or
So how many times can you split screen or add?
with Premiere,
Yeah,
um,
so if I have 4 different,
it's
GoPros.
It's limitless with.
oh really, so then you can stack them individually,
Mm-hmm. So with that, let's say
fade in and out
project.
between them also?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll show you how easy it is in a second. I'll call it multicam test. That way I can delete it later. Okay. So if I were to grab just 2, let's see, 2 video files. Let's do Josh and Gene. Okay. And then let's do GoPro class. Okay. So we got Josh and Gene and Irene and I doing our dives at the same time. Okay? So this is going to be a. Oh, man, I wish I had more real estate to play with here. There we go. Alright. We're going to have 2 angles here. Okay? So I'm going to make a sequence. Okay? Sequences is just basically what you saw with the GoPro software. So here's your timeline, right? Okay, so you have your video and you have your audio. Okay, you could tell it to get rid of this audio track if you want. Just delete it. So now it's just pure video. Okay. Now, what GoPro doesn't have that this has is multiple video tracks. Okay, so I could just drag the video on top of this, but now look, I can only see the top angle. All right. But this video is still underneath it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all I need to do is put these into a nest. Okay, I'll tell you what these are later. Then I'll add multi-camera editing to it. So now if I hit 1 or 2, I can switch in real time. Okay? And if I were to actually just change it to a multi-camera monitor, I could watch both clips at the same time and choose what I want to edit to just by hitting the keyboard. Okay, and I'm hitting these buttons on the keyboard. There's Gene getting stuck. Here's me enjoying a fish. Okay, these aren't color corrected yet. Okay.
Now, and part of the software will about let you take the one big screen on the right and project it, say on a projector, and then control it behind.
Yeah.
So that it's just the one frame.
You're
or
not.
The one.
Yeah, you're not watching. You're not watching all this. You can actually go to sequence settings, and well, it's different in this one. It's under preferences, playback. If I had it set up to where it wasn't mirroring my computer right now,
Yeah,
I could
exactly.
click somewhere in here, and it would just only display what I have as a final product on the screen.
Gotcha.
So that's how I edit movies. I have a big TV that just has what it would look like as if it was on TV.
Okay, gotcha.
Versus all these buttons and
And
knobs
screens
and
being shown.
all this stuff. Yeah,
Exactly.
you don't need to see that when you're trying to think of if this works or not.
Yeah.
Because it distracts you a lot. But yeah, so if you just take a look, all the 1s and 2s that I just pushed, it automatically edited it. Okay, so it's just, I'm not touching the computer. It automatically just
Switches back and forth.
switch the
slowly.
clips around. Yeah, exactly. And you could do this up to 99 tracks.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Wow.
it's practically
Nice.
limitless. Okay, so
Awesome.
sometimes they'll have GoPros that will, there'll be productions to where you had 45 GoPros and you needed to shoot something that looked like the Matrix.
Yeah.
You could put it in the program and make 45 video layers and take one frame out and take the next frame out and keep stacking it. Or just like a keyboard, like a piano, you can go brrrr, and then it just automatically edited all that out.
Wow. That's good.
So good times. All right. So you can go crazy with this program. Okay. And if you have multiple angles, just clap, sync the audio up, and you'll be able to edit in real time on all your angles.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
So that's how you do that. All right. And you saw how hard it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a lot of trial and error. Then.
Yeah.
There's a little learning.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Any other questions on Premiere and multiple angles or anything?
Like, since I'm in the mode of buying a new laptop, for doing this kind of stuff, what do you recommend for the computer and energy?
Anything with a solid state drive.
How about memory,
8
hard drive
gigs.
space?
8 gigs is a minimum that you want. You don't want 4 gigs of RAM. You want an i7 processor, just because it's going to do a bunch of floating point calculations. So it needs to know, everything that the computer is doing versus having it in a queue list. All right. So an i5 will do it fine too, but if you get like a Core 2 Duo or a Celeron, you're going to be stuck in just waiting and waiting, or some things won't even work. It won't allow you to do it.
So obviously, the more hard drive space, the better.
Yeah.
And then what about a outside external hard drive?
Yeah,
That'll work
USB
also
free.
even with the
Yeah,
USB.
you can. I edited an entire TV show, plugged into a USB 2 hard drive, and that was fine because I had all my files uncompressed, so it didn't have to think too hard to get the information onto the computer.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's see what else. Yeah, so 8 gigs of RAM minimum. i7 and i5 is fine. I sometimes I'll just say screw it and take my Surface, thing that you're holding.
Yep.
and that thing will do complete video editing just as fast as this will.
So what, even that GoPro, is there an app for the tablets for it, or?
They
Or
don't
is it-
have
it'll
a, they
run
don't have a
that?
video editing app yet for the
No.
tablet, but you can use the full version of GoPro on the Surface
Oh, okay.
because it's just a Windows computer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All that is a touch screen without a, it's a Windows laptop without a keyboard until you add one. That's all it is. Okay, so yeah.
So that will use the GoPro software. So thus it's mobile. You're out on the side of the beach, and, on the beach, kicking back on your Surface interval time, and then you can edit from underneath.
Yep, it'd be a real Surface interval.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry, that was a
Yes.
Jay Leno joke. Yeah.
Very funny.
Great. All right. So, yeah, that's it. Anything else? I'm here till you guys leave. So, you guys got any other questions?
If you were buying, I'm sorry, that's the first part. If you were buying a new GoPro right now, what all would you get with it?
Yeah. So, if you were to buy, say you wanted to buy a GoPro Silver
I'm thinking black.
or the black.
Yeah.
Here we're on products home right here. They have different versions of them. Okay, so
The 3 Plus Black is one.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
the one I was
3
thinking.
Plus Black Edition. Okay.
They have those 3 different versions, or 2 different versions of it. Adventure version. Or something.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the difference?
Besides the price, they come with different mounts.
Mhm.
Okay, so the camera's the same. Some of them come with compare bundles. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So the Surf Edition comes with it's basically like a screw-on piece that mounts the GoPro directly onto whatever you screw it into, like a surfboard, right?
Yeah.
So you probably won't want that for scuba diving. The standard edition already comes with a waterproof housing, good for 131 foot, all right, so 100 meters, 40 meters. The black edition music, it's not waterproof, okay, it's no remote. These things are just designed to mount onto a guitar, okay. There's not even glass around it, because it wants to have better acoustics, exactly. So you don't want to hear from the inside of this. So it just has a mic.
So is that mic adapter part of actually on the GoPro itself on just that music edition?
Yeah,
And
you'll
that allows
see.
you any microphone to
You'll see
attach to
that
it?
this comes with a microphone adapter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you'd probably get a wireless, like a
Yeah.
Sennheiser G3,
Okay.
or some sort of
Wireless
sort of
mic.
wireless to the PA guy, someone
Yeah.
who's mixing your stuff. Or if you just want to plug it into your guitar, you do it that way too. But these guys are doing concerts with their stuff, so yeah. You'll see online. There's plenty of people that just strap GoPros
Yeah.
to their guitar and they upload their entire concerts that way.
Yeah.
I used to do that for the live streams for a couple of the bands that would come here in the Bay Area. They'd say, "Oh, each of us we want a GoPro," and so we'd have it like wirelessly go into a live streamer. There'd be like 12 different GoPros. Like the drummer would have 2.
Yeah.
There'd be like the front cam, and all the guitar players would have it. So when they do a solo, you want to see their hands sliding up and down the neck, and the singer would have one on his microphone. And so
Exactly.
yeah, it was very disorienting unless you had a free camera crew in the back. And so we'd set up lighting to accommodate for all those.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but yeah, so you probably just want to get, if you're doing scuba diving, you just want to get the black edition, and then you can hop on. What's that?
The float back?
Yeah, and the floaty might be a problem when you're scuba diving, just because now you got your camera trying to fight you the whole time. So you could probably get a clip for the GoPro. You could, I know they make mounts that they make cases that have a little clip-on spot, or they make pieces on here that you could screw onto that has a piece that you can just have it connected to you the whole time. All right, and so you get like some sort of
A lot of people get like those flip filters.
Yeah, let me take you to a good site.
Backscatter.
Yep.
Back flip filter.
Another thing for holding on to it, you know how you can have the lens capture like DSLR?
Yeah.
I just got one of those and stuck it to the back of that and just looped it around something else.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
that too.
yeah, get creative. I mean, mine's mounted here, so it's hard for me to lose that. And then I got the other one mounted onto my head. They make they make epoxy mounts too, to where they're good for whenever you stick it on. I mean, that one's still been at the shop. We can't get it off the wall without it ripping off the drywall. Okay, yeah, I found that out the fun way.
But the other thing is that Gene's gonna start carrying these, so he'll be able to order all the little gewgaws and gadgets and that kind of thing that people need. So if you want something like the little flip lens which works really well. Dana took hours of video in Bon Air and it was really cool.
Well, the new addition to the flip now, they have a macro lens that you can add to it. So you
Cool.
get right up to
That's
little
cool.
critters. Yeah,
I didn't see that on the website. I was just looking for that. The macro.
yeah, they were advertising it the other day.
Yeah, backscatter.
So it says right there, mini
Is it-
underwater
is it
macro
better-
lens.
It's right there in the front, macro made mini for the
There,
GoPro.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Is it better to use filters or just do post-processing?
I'm gonna have all that
It's better to use filters. Fix it first.
Fix it first.
Yeah.
Fix it in camera.
And it gets
Because,
really, really good results.
Unless you shot it raw, which you can't do on a GoPro, then you need filters.
Do you have any of your video with you?
I didn't bring my laptop.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to I came here to learn to put the music into it.
Yeah, we're sticking with that. All right. So
His video is incredible because he used that aquapod
Yeah.
and just being able to hold it down near the reef was because you're away from the critters. It's just amazing.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I just worried about the lionfish. I don't want a sucker to go out.
Like the camera.
Now, in that case, does the waterproof cases allow you to have that back LCD screen to see what you're shooting?
yeah,
So
so
it's big enough to accommodate that?
Oh, yeah.
But they have two backs.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
They're pretty heavy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty sturdy.
all of the
39 inches.
GoPros
Yeah.
will allow you to just pull
Yeah.
off the back case and put on whatever one you want, depending
Okay.
on which accessories you have on them.
So that's you can see, Bill.
You're gonna make sure you
We
have
have a little, like,
I got a
recommendation
whole
package list.
You think the
Yeah.
casing
I'll have
for
all
the
sorts
extended
of-
battery and
just-
LCD just have a bigger back,
Okay.
You've been using this.
and it comes with it when you buy it.
Okay.
This is what you want here. This way you
Yeah.
can pull it out. It's like it's 39
That's when I'm
inches.
starting to have GoPro.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
you can handle the weight. It's not a problem.
That's the problem is you go over.
And you
Really
can use
is
it for the pod there, which is great.
Yep.
Good thing is you just don't move fast.
Or we got them
Oh,
before.
you
You
don't
should
move
hold your
fast
hands
enough.
still.
No, that's not a problem.
I wanna buy a new
I
one.
mean, you don't feel the
You don't
weight.
make
right?
that trip down.
It's no weight on you. You just go slow what you're doing. Otherwise you get the swipe. Okay?
Are you able to connect a
Oh,
connector
there
for?
you go. Yeah.
You can see it.
And that's just with the red filter.
That's the red filter.
And then you close that.
And you need that spring color.
How
So
deep
that's
is
probably what, 35,
How
40
deep is
feet.
that?
We're probably about 40 feet here, I think.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I was down to
On air?
85 and you could see the bottom. It's great. I mean, it was
I
white,
can't see what
white.
it's doing, so.
Yeah.
But I had one video that you took
Oh, really?
on my, I have the whole disc at home, but
Okay.
that's what gives you an idea what it looks like with the red filter.
It's gorgeous.
And here's one with just little turtle I took in Belize.
Oh, nice.
That's, we had that turtle on that one, remember? There's the boat there.
Might be the same
So-
turtle.
so
just
that's-
swam and-
He was a fast
Never
sucker.
back. You never know.
He looked hungry, he ran
What I
away.
was wondering was if this was the one with that school of blue tangs, because that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got that big ball of fish. That was cool. Went right through the center and they just,
Big ball.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause they saw the light.
Yeah. I was the big ball.
So if you notice up here,
Yeah.
I go do playback.
Looks pretty good.
The other thing on the Backscatter
I
website
love that fish.
is
Follow them all over.
they have a
Wait,
really
so
good
they're-
article
okay.
like copies and paste on using the GoPro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass around a clipboard, since I already did the work. Put your name and your email on there, and tomorrow morning I'll email you the article. That way you don't have to go search it, because I had to search forever to find it. But it's a really good, it supplements what Nate did. Also, on our Facebook page, I put it on there tonight too. So if you wanna look at it, I put the link to it.
And Dana's videos were on the end of that stick. And the cool thing about it was that because you're so, the bubbles are so removed from the camera, that the fish don't run.
Right.
You know, that was really
That's why I
cool.
want to filter that out. I mean, most of that's another thing, it's way out there, you can't hear it anyway. But next to it, yeah, you can hear the bubbles, you can hear yourself breathing.
Yeah,
Mm.
sure, it'll start clearing up.
That's
That's
good.
with the stick, you can put it where you don't wanna put your hand, you're not sure what's there.
Yeah, that's why it's.
He did, yes.
Chase the
Plus
line.
all the little critters just disappear, you know, when
Yeah.
you're this big giant thing that comes up and they're all going,
Yeah.
That's good,
I'm
that's a
trying to play
joke.
with it.
In
In the
Catalina,
middle of all this,
we went
we
to
made
that
some
Stinky
vacation.
Island, remember?
and I
Bird
lost
Rock?
my
Yeah,
Not last year, the year,
kitchen
not this
dining room is
last,
all
Yeah,
gone.
year before.
right?
All
There's like
construction. I get it
a
back
shelf
finally.
of rocks, and when everybody
When
left,
they said,
these
yeah,
bluefish
play
came
around with
out.
this, so-
So you came back
yeah.
all tucked away,
Oh, yeah.
just a ton of
Yeah.
fish. They
It's
were
a nice
like really small.
step up from
I got them on the.
Are they, were they like schooling in about this big?
Yeah.
And they're blue? They're actually called blacksmith
Yeah, they're
fish.
blue and black.
Yeah.
Let us know when you're gonna start.
So I watched all the
catching
divers
that
go
fish.
by, and I just sat there. They all came out Saturdays. It was cool.
I got that. Hold up, I got
All right,
That's what happens.
so, that's it, guys. Yeah.
Good
thanks,
job,
guys.
Mike.
Excellent.
Hey.
Nate,
All right, thank you.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Two thumbs up.
Thank you very much.
I was most impressed he knew. I got him beat.
All right, I'm gonna take the service.
That's positive.
Hit